It's finally a Superveloce type of day. It's been a while, man, since I rode this thing, and I low-key miss it. It's my newest bike, as you guys know. Whenever I get a new bike, I'm like kind of obsessed with riding it, and then you guys get mad at me because I'm only riding this one bike. But we took a long break from the Superveloce, so we've been riding a lot of your guys' favorites, the H2 and the H2R, my favorites as well. We do need to show some love for, the R1M, the M1000. Maybe do an HP4 race ride. Definitely the Ducati. I've been neglecting everything else, to be honest. I've just been riding the Fireblade, the H2 and the H2R, which you guys love, so I guess, not much to complain about. I also can't ride that M1000 since I'm still missing a peg, so we need to get that OEM peg, which is gonna have to come from Germany or whatever, so that's gonna take a little bit, so unfortunately M1000 is sitting. Also, I wanted to mention that these garage floors that we installed, they actually help with the flat spots, if you guys notice. On my tires, I don't know how good this is coming up on the camera, but there's kind of like lines instead of having a flat spot. Like I noticed when I used to take out the bikes, especially if I don't ride them for a while, I would get more of an actual flat spot from the asphalt, and then it feels more of every time the tire does a full rotation. Now it's like small little ridges that aren't nearly as impactful. I think the weight distributes differently, so it actually helps with flat spots. That's one of the things that I was like, we'll look into it and we'll see if it's actually true. But yeah, so it definitely helps with that. Look at that. Shout out to Daisuke Racing. We got this super nice, lightweight, clean black sprocket for the Superveloce. I have the chain for the H2, and these are the bolts for the front caliper, so we can remove the strap kit, the Brock strap kit. I've never thought about taking it off, and I was like, let's remove it since last time we did the service on this. So I got the OEM bolts because they're shorter, so we can remove this bracket. Most likely I'll paint the calipers too. That would be cool with this bike. We'll do like a black caliper with the Brembone green. I think that'd be solid. We have this sprocket, which replaces this one right here. And we have the rest of the setup, which is the sprocket carrier, the bolts, the nuts. I think the center hub too, the cap right here. So all that we have all at Ambiagusa, Los Angeles, which we should be taking her there in a couple days, installing all that. I just wanted to show you guys. Again, shout out to Daisuke Racing for this beautiful AM sprocket. Those are nice quality stuff. So they're linked in the description if you guys want to get yourself gear, parts, or anything like that. And you guys have a discount code with me, so take advantage of it. All right, we'll put that back there. Time to do the cold start. This is going to be very loud. Yep, very, very loud. It's a little dusty. Yeah, my Apple Watch right away. It's like too loud of an environment. Do not stay around this. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are finally back riding the Superveloce. Oh, they kind of redid the street. Oh, I was like, it's really nice until you hit this literal jump mid-turn on a bridge. It is a beautiful day out. I think this week is just really nice weather here. So, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to try to ride as much as I can. We're actually doing 2 rides today. It's going to be 2 separate videos, though, for you guys. We're going to ride the Superveloce. There's been an old OG friend that is recently back in town, I believe. And, oh boy, I did not expect all this traffic. This is crazy. And, yeah, he just picked up a Aprilia, an RSV4. Way back in the day, he used to have an R6, and he was like, what liter bike I should get. And I told him, he gave me options. I told him the Aprilia sound just amazing, especially with that FC and everything. Since then, he's been hooked on them, and he's had a few by now. But yeah, we're gonna go link up with him, kind of catch up, and go for a little ride. It's a beautiful day out, like I was saying, so it's a good excuse to take out the Superveloce. Gotta kind of pay attention to the road a little bit right now since we're going so extremely slow. But yeah, I really wanted to take this bike out. It's still, one of my newest bikes, even though we already put 720 miles on it. It's actually crazy because it's I was gonna say catching up to the H2R, but the H2R has double the miles. But I've also had the H2R way longer, but I can't ride it as much. Anyways, I've been itching to ride this thing. It's kind of like my only road legal, actual street hyperbike that has a headlight and a tail light and fans and all the goodies. So, you know, it's kind of fun to ride a hyperbike while not being worried about your bike overheating or, you know, sunset, since it'll get dark and then you have no lights. Thank you, sir. I do have this check engine light, which, oh, look at the time. Time is 3:33. Yeah, I think after tomorrow, so in a couple of days this week, we're going to be taking this to, like I said in the start of the video, to Moto Club Los Angeles, so we can almost finalize everything. So I'm taking a few parts from the Rush. We're going to put on the reservoirs on this bad boy right here. So we have the carbon reservoirs. Those are like $500. So we're going to put those reservoirs on the Superveloce. We also have my dark heel guards. I got them like custom painted, well, anodized, so we're gonna install those on here. So there's a lot of stuff that will clean it up. We have the rear sprocket, like I showed you guys, the rear hub, all those stuff. And we also have the smoke taillight, which I low-key like the red taillight, but at the same time, I think the smoke taillight, just like the Rush comes with a smoke taillight, so it'll look a lot cleaner with this bike. You know, it already has a lot of red going on, and I am leaning towards the red, as you guys can see, with my kind of like black and red domino grips, my really bright red lever guards, which I also absolutely love from Daisuke Racing. I have those lever guards on my HP4 race, this bike, and the H2, because they just look so amazing, and the quality is like unmatched. Even though they're very, very expensive, they're worth it when it's a special bike like this, the H2. Well, initially I got them for the H2R, but they didn't fit because that bike is wider than the H2 and the HP4 race, you know, the hyper bikes. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards the red, and we're gonna add a few little more red things here and there as well. You know, the theme is gonna be kind of black and red, which is very similar to the V4R, but I don't know, I feel like I also can't do a different color because this bike is red. It's a different red, but still pretty much the same theme colors as the H2R. And I've talked to a few companies about my silver carbon side fairing that I want to get also in carbon fiber. So it is carbon fiber, but if you're new to the channel, then I've talked about how I want to clear coat it. So strip off the silver paint on that side fairing, and because it's going to be raw carbon under, and then clear coat that and make it look fully exposed carbon. So yeah, I wanted to have the side panel as exposed carbon instead of the painted silver. But I talked to a couple companies, and I was told that because it's painted carbon, it might have some paint kind of like baked into certain parts of the carbon. So if you strip it, it might leave kind of like marks and stuff like that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get in touch with the factory of MV Agusta and see how, first of all, how the carbon fiber looks under the silver, but also take a look at how the carbon looks, because it's kind of like unfinished. So it would make sense to check it out before committing to such a big job. What's up? How you doing, man? Okay, nice meeting you.
Dude, that's sick, dude.
Thank you, man.
Dude, I see on your videos, Doc, so I'm just like...
Yeah, it's been a little bit since I rode her, so I was like, I'll take her out since we're doing a little ride.
Yeah. Full carbon?
Yeah, it's a full carbon bike actually, it's just painted.
Yeah. I picked this thing up for $7,000.
$7,000 for an RSV4. It has the Samco hoses in red and all that. And it has the SC, the most important part, right?
I was like, I'll buy it with that.
How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Fine, man. I was like, man.
Back on the ape again. What is this, like your third ape or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still with him. I sold my ape now, so you know I'm missing an ape. Trying to get another one, we'll see. I had to make room. I sold that Aprilia and pretty much got this. And I sold my KTM. I don't know if you've even seen my KTM, the Super Duke. Yeah, so yeah, I sold the Super Duke to get the HP4 race.
You sold the Rush already, right?
No, it's still for sale. So the Rush is still for sale with Moto Club Los Angeles, and I'll talk about it in the next video. I'm most likely selling the Fireblade as well. Yeah, I know, I do too, but I really want that Aprilia, the Extrenta, so it's the only options I have left to sell. This sounds so unique and different. We're gonna go on a little ride. I still can't go crazy with this bike because it is not tuned. We still need to tune it really bad since the air to fuel ratio is messed up because it's full exhaust.
Sounds like it's cammed.
I know, it sounds like it's camped. It's such a unique sound. That's why, like, honestly, like, a big thing about motorcycles, like, how the experience is. And this is why I'm also, like, selling the Rush, because this gives me that MV unique ride experience, but at the same time, it's just smoother and better overall. And that's why now that I have this, I feel like I'm almost never gonna ride the Rush. It's just like every time I want to ride the Rush, I'm like, well, this ride's better. It sounds, in my opinion, better. Ooh, I missed the sound. It's a sport bike, it's not a naked bike, so it's more my style. Oh, another thing I also want to do to the Superveloce is actually raise it back. So we lowered the rear. Since OEM, there's like a little pivot point on this on the frame right here where you can lower the bike, and we did lower it as much as possible, but for whatever reason it made the tail kind of like look like it's almost like the front is higher than the rear, which I don't like. I like it the other way around, where the front is lower than the rear, kind of like the H2R, because the H2R is like pretty much stock height, but we lowered the front right here through the forks lower, so it just looks cleaner that way. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So this is slightly, we lowered it slightly here, like about what, I think half an inch we did. I forgot exactly how much we did, but it sounds like about half an inch, or looks like it. So we're gonna raise back the rear to stock, and that way, staring at us, and that way it's gonna get that look back. I'm taller, so I don't really need the bike to be lowered. I just wanted to make it look more sleek, but you know, it messed kind of with the geometry of the bike a little bit, so that's why we're changing it up. Moves, man. I didn't even pin her at all. I was just like gradual, just like having fun with the throttle. I'm sorry, I just can't help myself. I'm supposed to be taking it easy on this thing until we get her tuned. No more. 2 pulls is good enough. That was a proper what? What am I looking at? That looks insane. Fully broke my neck. I miss good weather riding days, man. It's so much more enjoyable when it's not cold. And I'm very sorry for all the people that are watching this. It's too cold right now, you guys can't ride. At least, you know, hopefully you can live through these videos and enjoy my rides. Woo! The ZX10 sounds spicy. Where's Chris at? I want to hear the Aprilia. Go, 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 go! Let's go! Well, that was fun, you know, just gotta get a couple pulls in, let it out of my system, have some fun with the SV. I do miss riding this bike, and honestly, for such a heavy bike, she's pretty flickable, especially since we mess with the geometry of this bike too. And fingers crossed, I can't cross my fingers with the gloves, but there you go. Fingers crossed, we're gonna get her tuned soon with BT Moto. Imagine this thing on the dyno. That would sound absolutely insane. I'm excited to see like how much power it makes stock and also aftermarket compared to the Rush, because the Rush was also tuned by BT Moto, since you know both of them have the same engine technically, so that'll be exciting. Putting her right into neutral because we're going right next to a cop. We got saved by the light. I saw him from so far and I was like, that's a cop, right? Back to the traffic we go. Alright, you guys. That was a fun little Superveloce ride. I just honestly wanted, it's beautiful out and I really wanted to ride this thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna fit through here with these lever guards. So, yeah, I just really wanted to ride the Superveloce. Those lever guards are wide, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, and more content with all of these bikes are coming very soon, and hopefully more variety for you guys soon as well. Peace out, right safe.